there. The intensity of those Santa Ana winds, coupled with nearly a year of dry brush, are driving the rapid spread of these fires. In these images from CAL FIRE, you can hear, just listen there, that is the fury of the winds that have been carrying embers all around and starting fires. Joining us now is climate scientist Michael E. Mann. He is the director of the Penn Center for Science, Sustainability, and the Media at the University of Pennsylvania. He's also the author of Our Fragile Moment, How Lessons from Earth's Past Can Help Us Survive the Climate Crisis. And Michael, I wonder, when you're looking at this, how does climate change contribute to this perfect firestorm?
Yeah, hi, Brianna. It's good to be with you, although I wish it was under better circumstances. We're certainly seeing a tragedy play out. And when we see these sorts of events, these massive wildfires, 15 of the worst 20 wildfires have occurred during the last 15 years in California. And so there's a clear trend towards these faster spreading, hotter burning, more destructive, more deadly wildfires. And as is always the case, there's an underlying factor and there's an immediate factor. And it's the interaction between those two that give you these extreme events. The underlying factor is, as you already alluded to, profound drought, very dry conditions, an extremely late start to the winter rainy season. It basically hasn't started and we're already into January. And there's a key meteorological variable that we look at, which is called the evaporative demand. It's basically how dry and thirsty the atmosphere is, and that correlates highly with wildfire potential. And we're seeing very high levels of evaporative demand precisely in those regions where these wildfires have broken out. Now, the immediate factor, these winds, the Santa Ana winds, and we can't say those are caused by climate change. It's a natural occurrence, but it's the synergy between that natural occurrence, the Santa Ana winds, that immediate factor, and the underlying dry conditions that are definitely related to a trend of drier conditions in California and the western U.S. caused by human-caused warming due primarily to the burning of fossil fuels.
So, this has become a bit of a political issue, as certainly the wildfires in California do when it gets bad there. And I wonder if you can explain or kind of fact check for us, because we are hearing from President-elect Trump, who is blaming Governor Gavin Newsom and saying that this is about water policy to protect threatened species. And really, that is the culprit for what we're seeing. Is that part to blame here? What do you see?
Yeah, no, it's really unfortunate to see, the president-elect engaging in what can only be characterized as disinformation and politically motivated disinformation. We know what's going on here. This is part of a larger trend, hotter, drier conditions due to the warming of the planet. And that's the reason that we have seen, again, the most destructive, the fastest spreading, the most deadly wildfires in California history in recent years. And, that the fact that we're seeing wildfires like this in the middle of winter during what is supposed to be the dry season is testament to the fact that there's a new ingredient. There's a new meteorological ingredient here, and that's climate change. And what the president-elect appears to be trying to do is to deflect attention away from the fact that his incoming administration, his priority is going to be to essentially dismantle all climate and clean energy programs in the United States that are our effort to actually deal with the underlying problem, and instead double down on fossil fuels, the very factor that is underlying this trend in terms of warming conditions and worse, more damaging and deadly weather extremes, including these wildfires that we're seeing play out right now.
Michael, thank you so much. Obviously, it's so important to get a look at the big picture here, and you always help us do that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.